Alright, before I start this video, I just want to make a quick announcement that I'm a changed man. Now, how am I a changed man? Well, I finished Persona 5 Royal last night, and as I said in the Tales of Arise review, Persona 5 Royal could have potentially surpassed it, which guess what? It did. So yeah, Persona 5 Royal is actually now my favorite game of all time. Yeah, Persona 5 Royal, it's my favorite game of all time now. And Tales of Arise is no longer my favorite game of all time. But if you want to hear my thoughts on Persona 5 Royal, then come back in several months for my videos on it. Anyway, though, without further ado, let's go! Greetings, gamers. Agent SN, and thank you all for 200 subscribers. So, to celebrate, I want to do kind of a beginner's video about something I usually talk about. So yeah, so if you know me, you know that my two main channel topics are Nintendo games and JRPGs. But there's various different kinds of RPGs, especially, and you know I love RPGs, and JRPGs are part of my channel's main topics. But yeah, so to celebrate 200 subscribers, I decided to do a video where I show you the 4 main gameplay types of RPGs and kind of explain them here as basically a beginner's kind of video. And yeah, I'm really only going into the 4 main gameplay types. But the difference between JRPGs and WRPGs is obviously where they're made. But anyway, though, let's get into the 4 main types while we're here. So yeah, but further ado, let's go. So starting off, we have the turn-based RPGs, the most popular kind of RPG. The turn-based RPGs, well, they're obviously turn-based. So yeah. Turn-based RPGs are games that involve you transitioning into fights when you approach an enemy and you are sent to a battlefield, and what happens is there's a command system that has stuff like right away, or guard, or attack, or summon something, or use items, yeah, stuff like that. And they'll usually involve multiple party members, of course, and yeah. Now, examples of these are Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, well, the old Final Fantasy games, and Dragon Quest, and Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, Trails, Suikoden, and so on and so forth. This is by far the most common type of RPG, and you will see these all the time in a lot of areas. Anyway, though, now let's go on to the next type. Alright, next up we have action RPGs. Now, action RPGs are RPGs that have elements of action-adventure games, and basically kind of what if you mix RPG with action-adventure, basically. And they involve action-based combat. Now I still have commands like using items and stuff, but the combat it involves real-time action. Well, whenever it's real-time, but yeah, they involve action basically. Instead of you using a command system to use your attacks. And for action RPGs, you, how the combat plays is you use attacks that involve action combat. Kind of like a normal action game. Now, examples of these are the recent Final Fantasy games, Ys, Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, Fallout, and a few others, and the Tales series, Scarlet Nexus, the Souls games. Yeah, there's a lot of these, too. But now let's go on to the next one. Alright, so next up we have strategy RPGs. Now, strategy RPGs are basically kind of like, they're kind of like a mix of strategy games, mostly tactical strategy games. Although there are some real-time strategy games like 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim that are real-time strategy RPGs. But most strategy RPGs you will see are ones that play on a grid and play kind of like a board game. Now, examples of these are Fire Emblem, Disgaea, XCOM, Mario plus Rabbids, Valkyria Chronicles, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and more. But these games involve you, well, how the combat plays in these is you're on a grid. Well, at least in most ones, you're on a grid or something. Although there are some 3D ones, like Valkyria Chronicles. But they involve you basically commanding a bunch of units, basically. You command a bunch of characters and decide where they have to move and stuff, and they attack in different directions. And you basically have to take down a specific army or something like that. So yeah. Strategy RPGs are very interesting, although they are my least favorite out of the 4 genres. Well, the 4 subgenres I'm talking about. For instance, strategy RPG is my least favorite, but they're still good games. Let's go on to the last one I want to talk about. Alright, next up we have the massively multiplayer online RPGs, or MMORPGs. These are RPGs that are online only, and they involve a huge world, and they involve you teaming up with other players online to complete various quests in a huge-sized world. Now, examples of these are World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, and a few others like Phantasy Star Online and the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I haven't played a big amount of these, but I have played Final Fantasy XIV, and it's very good, and probably one of the best Final Fantasy games. But yeah, these are. But yeah, MMORPGs they're very different from an offline RPG, since they're online and they're set with other players, and they're basically multiplayer based, as the name says. So yeah, those are the 4 subgenres of RPGs that I want to talk about today. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching this, and thank you so much for 200 subscribers. This has truly been a long time coming, and I've been trying to get here for a long time, ever since I got 100 subscribers back in April of 2021, around the time of my channel's anniversary, and my 2-year anniversary is coming up this April. So yeah, I'm really glad I have 200 subscribers, and very excited for the future of my channel in 2022 throughout the rest of this year, as I got a lot of good stuff planned, and many good big projects planned. So yeah, that's it for this video though guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for 200 subscribers. See you guys next time. Agent S out.